There's a book called Speak Peace in a World of Conflict. And it's probably my most favorite book in the whole world. It's one of the few books I have read twice. And boy, does the world need it right now. It's by Marshall Rosenberg. Speak Peace in a World of Conflict by Marshall Rosenberg. And I want to share a couple of three things from you that I got out of the book that has been very important to me in improving my ability to communicate effectively, efficiently, and more kindly and gently without getting triggered. And I still have a long way to go. I still got a lot of work to do in this area. But the more I do this work, the better my life gets in terms of richness in relationships. And so, one of the most important things you can do to communicate with people genuinely instead of projecting and jumping to conclusions and things like that is you to know yourself. And in order to know yourself, you need to be aware of your feelings and your needs, and you need to speak with the awareness of what you're feeling and what you're needing in the present moment. For example, right now, I am feeling a little bit of a sense of urgency about sharing this information because I think it is so important for everybody to have more fulfilling lives, to learn this skill that I'm talking about. And I'm far from skillful yet, but I'm getting there. And the more people who do this and practice it together, the better we all get together. It's very difficult to do, at least for me still, with someone who knows nothing about it. So I find speaking with this awareness in community is a way to rapidly progress. So that's why I want to share it, and that's why I have a sense of urgency about sharing it, because of my need to develop more skill in this area and to perfect my communication techniques. So did you notice my feeling was a sense of urgency, and my need was to have a community within which to practice. So I just communicated with you with awareness of my feeling, urgency, and my need, community. And so that is staying in the present moment with awareness of where you are at any given time. And the more that we can communicate in the present moment with personal awareness of our own feelings and needs, the more effective our communication becomes. So, in order to do that, you have to be aware of what feelings are. And to me, feelings are sensations and emotions. A lot of people confuse feelings with judgments, like, I feel like you're trying to make me wrong. Well, trying to make me wrong is neither an emotion nor a sensation. A sensation has to do with the five senses: touching, smelling, hearing, seeing, and tasting. Those are physical feelings. And emotional feelings are things like anger, grief, disgust, fear. And there's dozens and dozens of them. I won't list them all right now. So one of the habits that we have to give up as we learn to speak in the present moment with awareness of where we are with regards to our feelings and our needs is giving up the substitution of judgments for feeling. I hope that makes sense. Let me see. Another thing that you need to be aware of is that when you are having positive emotions or even positive sensations and you feel good, whether it's physically or emotionally, it's because your needs are getting met in that moment. And when you have negative emotions, anger, disgust, positive emotions would be delight, pleasure, happiness. So if you have happiness, pleasure, delight, then you have needs that are getting met. If you have anger, disgust, fear, then you have needs that are not getting met. So if you pay attention to your feelings, they are the key to whether or not your needs are being met. Now, what are needs? Needs are things that we need to survive and thrive in the world. Basic needs are things like shelter, food, medical care, a sense of security, safety. Those are our basic needs. Touch, community, someone to care about, love. Those are needs. And if you pay attention to your emotions, then they will tell you whether or not your needs are getting met. Now, of course, this is something that's obvious, but most people don't think about it consciously. It's just something that's going on deep inside them that they're inherently aware of, but they are not speaking from a point of needs. What's really, really beautiful and magical about needs is everybody has them. And so if you speak to people's needs and you speak from your needs, then people are more likely to respond positively. Of course, I guess if it's sociopath or psychopath, they're not. But then I need to stay away from this person. But most people will respond positively when you speak about your needs because they have needs too. So let me see. For example, if I say, I'm really happy to see you today because I enjoy our conversations and the time we spend together is fulfilling for me. Okay, I've talked about my enjoyment and my happiness, and I've spoken about what I get out of being with the person, a sense of community, good conversation. And so I have related my positive emotions, happiness, and enjoyment to the relationship positive relationship, a sense of being cared about and caring for someone. So there's a love there. But if I say, I'm feeling very unhappy and angry because you said you were going to be here at 1 o'clock and I planned on that and you didn't show up and you didn't call, and my need for a sense of security and to be able to plan my time was not met. Well, a person can say, oh, wow, that was kind of rude of me. Or they can say, I don't care. And then you really can't count them as a friend if they don't care. Now, they may have a good reason why they couldn't call. And then it's easy to just say, well, that's okay then. I had no idea you were going through that. But if they are a good friend and a caring friend, they're going to want your needs to be able to plan your time efficiently and them not waste your time to be met. And the next time they will make an effort to let you know they're going to be late, unless they're trying to drive you away or take advantage of you, or for some reason they have some kind of sickness that makes them feel good about keeping people waiting. And that's a good cue that this is not a dependable, reliable person to have in your life, because you're just going to be wasting time all the time sitting around waiting on them. So, if you can talk about your anger, frustration, without raising your voice, but instead relating it to the need that got thwarted, you give the person an opportunity to adjust their behavior to meet your need, rather than scolding them and shaming them and blaming them and trying to make them feel guilty, which will just drive them away from you. So, those are some of the most important things that I've gotten out of the book Speak Peace in a World of Conflict. Feelings, needs, the relationship between feelings and needs, instead of shaming, blaming, scolding, and trying to make someone feel guilty. Now, why do we shame, blame, scold, and try to make people feel guilty? Because we don't want them to disrespect us and offend us in some way that did not meet our needs. And why do we communicate in that way? Because the style of communication that we all need in families, we inherited from the feudalistic system when there were kings and queens and a whole bunch of serfs, and the kings and queens had to figure out how to get the serfs to work harder and do more, and they used shame and blame and guilt and threats and consequences and all that to keep people in line. And as free, sovereign individuals, I'm not sure if I like the word sovereign, but I already used it, so I'm going to keep on going. So, I mean, I love the idea of sovereignty, but it's just become a soundbite. It's just been overused lately, and I don't want to be cliche. But it's too late now. I've already been cliche. So, what we have to do is treat everybody with respect and kindness and gentleness, and give them the opportunity to rise to a level of equality with us, to rise to a level of respect, mutual respect. And that's the whole point of this type of communication, is to raise conscious awareness that our communication style is creating a lot of unnecessary strife because we're falling back on that feudalistic shame blame type of communication. That if we can eliminate that, people appreciate us and our friendship because we're not shaming, blaming them, and trying to make them feel guilty and trying to control them and manipulate them with conversation. And instead, we're just staying present with our own feelings and our own needs and saying, this is what I feel and this is what I need. And people inherently know that when they're feeling bad and their needs are not getting met, they don't want to be around somebody. So if they cherish your friendship and your presence, they're going to want to extend themselves in ways that are meaningful to you and find a way to meet your needs in a way that doesn't interfere with their needs. So the whole point of this style of communication is to collaborate in ways that everybody's needs get met. And there is a way to get so good at this that everything we do is play, because we can playfully acknowledge our needs and ask for our needs to be met and creatively collaborate in ways that everybody's needs get met, whether it be taking turns or whether it be a new way of relating that makes all needs be met at the same time, or I don't even know. I don't even know because I haven't done this enough to know yet, but I want to get to know. That's what I want to do. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you, is that we don't have to shame and blame and manipulate and guilt and consequence people anymore. We don't have to punish them anymore. We can just say, this is how I'm feeling and this is what I need. And if they're not interested in respecting that, why do you want to be around them anymore? Look for people who do want to meet you at a feelings and needs level and work towards co-creating more positive feelings, because more and more of our needs are getting met. We need this so much in the world right now. I think a lot of the reason that there is war and murder and mass murder is because people don't know how to get their needs met, and they lose total hope of it ever happening. And there is just this desire that if I can't be happy, nobody else can either. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at tonight, and thank you for listening. I don't know how to turn this thing off.